Hey, this is Bon Diesel, and today I'm bringing you another Intel Insights video. This time I'm going to do the campus audio recordings. We'll listen to them real quick. We'll talk a little bit about them, how I think they impact the story and what they mean to maybe the future of the game and so on and so forth. So this one is the campus and Henry Hayes, and we'll chat about it after they're done.
Sir, civilians are not permitted beyond this point.
I'm trying to find my wife. She was assigned here.
Then I'm sorry, this is a quarantine zone.
She's a nurse, not a patient.
All personnel are required to remain inside the perimeter until further notice.
You can't keep people locked up in there.
The staff were fully briefed on the situation.
The hell they were. She left for work 3 days ago, expecting to be home that evening.
Look, you can leave your name and I'll try to get word to her.
It's Hayes. Henry Hayes.
Hayes, got it. Now go home, Mr. Hayes. It's not safe to be running around out here.
We're screwed. Any way you look at it, absolutely screwed.
Come on, Henry, we'll figure it out.
How, huh? We're running out of food. It's been weeks since the last supply drop. I don't think any more are coming.
We're not going to starve.
A heaping plate of wishful thinking isn't gonna cut it. Our crops aren't coming along fast enough or well enough.
Have you been out there lately? The city is a buffet of wild game. There's more raccoons hanging out on K Street than there used to be lobbyists.
It doesn't do us any good if we're on lockdown in here. Those fucking outcasts are hell-bent on wiping us off the map.
Henry, we're going to pull through. We can eat grasshoppers and kudzu if we have to. This ain't Jamestown. We're not gonna end up as cannibals.
I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. I just lost perspective there for a minute.
You've got a heavy load, that's for sure. But you got us this far. I'm with you all the way.
Let's get the unhappy business out of the way. We're making some changes. I doubt you're going to like them, but we have two choices. Pull together and work hard, or die. First off, from now on, everybody works. Everybody. You don't find a way to pitch in, you're out on your own. It's not fair for the people who work the hardest and risk the most to support folks that sit by. Obviously, exceptions will be made for the injured and infirm, and we're not going to have kids working in coal mines, but anybody can contribute by doing simple chores. It's mostly luck that got us this far. If we're going to survive, it's going to take sacrifice and the hardest work we've ever done. Anybody who isn't willing to do their share can't stay here. It's as simple as that.
What the hell is that? I'm not eating it.
Suit yourself.
What is it?
Stew.
No fucking shit.
What do you want to hear? It's beef bourguignon, just with some substitutions.
I'm asking a serious question.
Look, either eat the fucking stew or don't eat the fucking stew. If you want to be a big boy, try it and see if you like the taste. Then if you really, really want to know what's in it, I'll tell you.
I don't know what to do.
You already did all you could.
He just slipped away. 1 second he was there looking at me, and then he wasn't.
I'm sure it made it better for him, having you there. It's gonna be hard for a time. Real hard. You're gonna keep playing it back in your head. You've got to try not to.
How do I stop it?
Don't give in to it. Think about something else. Anything else.
I've tried.
You just have to persist. It's a pit you don't want to get stuck in, because it's hard to get out of. You've got to find a way to float above it.
I don't know if I can.
You can. I know you can. Look, I know you're scared. We all are. We've all lost more than we ever thought we could bear, but there is plenty more to lose. And that's exactly why this place matters. On our own, none of us can do much about any of this. We just get swept away. But together, we have a chance. What we have here is security, shelter, companionship. Supplies enough to give us a chance to become self-sustaining. That's more than a lot of people were given. I can promise you one thing. I'm not giving up. Ever.
String beans, cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, corn.
We have space for corn?
A few rows won't be a problem, and corn is great for companion planting.
I'll take your word for it. What else?
Zucchini. Basically any variety of squash we have seeds for.
I thought squash was a winter vegetable.
The difference between summer and winter squash is mainly how mature the fruit should be when you harvest it.
You learn something every day.
Oh, don't forget melons.
Who could forget melons?
So the campus settlement is the one in the northwest of the map that we play on. So from the audio, you can tell that the main enemy they have to deal with up there is the outcast, which makes sense since the outcasts kind of come from the island that's on the west as well. And even in the game, I feel like you tend to deal with them the most. Even the control points and stuff that get taken over, you'll notice they mostly get taken over by outcasts on that side, which I believe come from the stronghold. So I don't think there's anything too groundbreaking about this recording. It's mostly kind of giving some history on Hayes, Henry Hayes, the leader of the campus settlement that we interact with through the story of the game, as well as, you know, talking about how basically it's assumed that, you know, he loses his wife, and then kind of showing some of the politics and some of the concerns about setting up, you know, the campus settlement as we see it. Once we get there, it's not in great shape. They need a lot of help, and you know, we help giving them all the upgrades they get and all that, but you know, they're sustaining decently and even growing food and so on and so forth. So this area is actually really cool. I believe it's part of the Georgetown campus, but I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But it's neat. So I think what's maybe slightly interesting about this one is you kind of hear them talk about you know, that they're not getting any more supply drops and stuff like that. So I think it's somewhat implied, and you can tell around the map that the government from various, I assume, Air Force bases and other bases were dropping supplies in DC. You see this when you're running around the map. You see, for example, like the hanging supply crates that you shoot to get supplies. So some of them are gun crates, but some of them are gun and gear, but some of them are, you know, regular materials as well. And there's various parts around the map in parks and stuff where you can tell they dropped a lot of supplies just for that park. There is, you know, which is part of the environmental storytelling I really like in this game. I think it tells a lot if you pay attention. The campus is an interesting one because, you know, in the theater, which we'll talk about in another video, that's led by a former division agent. So maybe a little bit more of a militaristic idea of how they do their things, where even their defenses, you know, they have the high ground, they have mortar setups and all kinds of weapon posts and all that, and surrounding buildings even, where in this one you can definitely tell it's led by more of a regular person, in Henry Hayes, and it's really just kind of like a walled off area where they've, you know, used some cranes and stuff to make gates and stuff like that. It's actually kind of cool. I like the design environmentally of both of these, but nothing here I think that, you know, suggests what's coming in the future or anything, but still I think kind of interesting to talk about, and that's probably all I'm going to say about this one. So if you want to check me out, I am Bond Diesel on Twitter. I also stream a few times a week on Twitch, also under Bond Diesel. If you want to check out a podcast that talks about the Division 2, and everything that comes along with that, news and updates and so on, please check out the Echo Cast on all podcasting platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, and basically every other one you can think of. So that's what I have this time. So until next time.